Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tin Man Squirrel channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'll be reacting to 6 most disturbing things caught on police Dashcam footage, Vol.2. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn these lights off, move the camera up here for you guys, and let's get this reaction on the road and in the bag.
This is the dashcam footage of rookie Delaware State Police Trooper Hassan Hollis. Hassan was stationed on a highway on-ramp right next to a stalled vehicle waiting for a tow truck to arrive when he spotted a red Buick Regal. Only minutes before, a radio call had gone out for all officers in the area to be on the lookout for a vehicle that matched that very description, as it was linked to a possible kidnapping. Hassan quickly ditched the stalled vehicle and began chasing it down the highway.
Yeah, my adrenaline will be pumping if I was an officer on duty and I have to be on the highway and I notice the vehicle that the other authorities are looking for. I'll be turning my lights on and go blaring down the highway just to go get that person.
After a few moments, he caught up to it and got right behind it. The license plate matched up. Hassan then radioed for backup and began pulling the vehicle over using extreme caution.
Yeah, you get pulled over by the cops and they tell you to get out the door, you better do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Clear. Clear the car.
Inside the vehicle was 35-year-old Lewis Coleman. When asked if anyone else was in the vehicle, Lewis would explain how someone was in the trunk. Upon opening the trunk, police would find the remains of Jassy Correia inside of a suitcase. A suitcase which Lewis was later found to have purchased only a couple days earlier at a nearby Walmart. Along with this, he also purchased other items, such as duct tape, surgical gloves, and safety goggles. The unfortunate events were believed to have started at a nightclub hundreds of miles away where Jassy Correia was last seen. It's thought that this is where Lewis had lured her inside of his car. Upon being arrested, Lewis Coleman would plead not guilty, but considering the mass amount of evidence against him, he would later be found otherwise by a federal jury. As of right now, Lewis is still waiting for his sentencing.
Which probably by the time of me recording, he already got his sentence. But yeah, if he's got like surgical gloves, duct tape, and it looked like he was carrying a gasoline can in his shopping cart, something tells me that after he, duct tape her and everything, and if he killed her, he was probably going to set her remains on fire or bury them in the suitcase. But when he got caught, they found the suitcase with the woman's remains. I said, yep, that guy's going to jail for life. Saying he's not guilty. I mean, you're carrying her remains. That's guilty red flag right there.
It's November 19, 2017, in Clearwater, Florida. 2 police cruisers, both with their own dash cams, were responding to a traffic stop on North Keene Road. Just 2 minutes after they arrived, a small plane hovering in the air slowly comes into view. But it quickly becomes clear that it's descending and heading straight at them.
Holy crap, get out of the car. Oh! Dang. Oh man, I hope them pilots did not get hurt too bad.
The plane's right wing clips a tree while descending, causing the aircraft to spin out and forcing it to the side of the road. Just minutes earlier, the 4-seater plane had taken off from a nearby airport. Flying it was 61-year-old Mark Allen Benedict, accompanied by 1 other passenger. Shortly into the flight, their engine started failing. Mark reported this back to the airport and further explained to them that he didn't think he could make it back. Mark didn't have many options, as the state of the one engine he had was only continuing to worsen. This is what forced him to crash land on the road, a road which just so happened to already have police present. Despite the terrible nature of the crash, Mark and the other passenger on board were able to walk away from the wreckage with minimal injuries.
Oh, thank God. Hate to hear him say like they died on impact or something.
No one on the ground was injured.
That's also good. Jesus Louise, yeah, look at that wing. It's all wadded up. I mean, I've seen people that have on the news, they have emergency landings on roads, but if in this circumstance they couldn't contact nobody, tell them that they're landing on the road quick enough. But yeah, I'm still glad that they came out unscathed.
This footage was taken from the dashcam of Arkansas Police Corporal Randy McAdams around 3 a.m. on October 15th, 2005. Randy had been informed of some type of crash at Hobo Jungle Park and was in the process of responding to the incident. On his way to the crash site, he would notice a thick layer of what looked like fog directly in front of him. This prompted Randy to stay put. Shortly after, his dashcam would capture this.
I've got some kind of chemical smell. It's slowly drifted further south.
That was an explosion? I thought it was heavy wind.
We just had a huge explosion. We've got massive fire out here on Dudley here at the River Yard. We got some stuff on fire. Just lost power down here on the hill.
Oh yeah, I can see the fire.
I want to back your unit up.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, you better back up her. Oh my goodness.
Get your ass out of my way. Get the hell up out of here.
Randy desperately backs away from the explosion and is able to make it out of its range. It turns out the crash he was responding to was a train crash at a nearby railroad yard. The collision resulted in the puncture of a tanker carrying propylene, a compressed flammable gas. This is the fog Randy had originally seen when responding to the incident. At that point, the gas wasn't yet on fire. It wasn't until it reached a nearby house that it was set ablaze. It's believed that the house's water heater is what was responsible. This is what then caused the extreme explosion seen in the dashcam footage.
Jeez Louise. Man, I'm glad nobody won't near the railroad yard when it crashed and they just so happened to light a cigarette or something because boom. Not trying to be funny, I'm being serious, but yeah, I hated that it went near somebody's house and made the whole liquid just go up in flames. It looks like a small version of Hiroshima. Glad that cop backed out when he could.
Had Randy entered the fog, he and his patrol vehicle likely would have been incinerated. But amazingly, all police officers and even rail yard employees were out of the explosion's range when it occurred.
Thank God for that. Because if they happened to be over there, like you said, the police cars and the officers and employees of the railroad yard would be just engulfed in flames, and I don't think you would be able to save them then.
In fact, around 3,000 residents within a 1-mile radius were advised to evacuate immediately. Unfortunately, though, the house that had started the explosion had a single occupant, which would be the only person killed in the incident.
Oh.
This tragedy brought a lot of light to the shortcomings in communication methods between the police, the fire department, and those working the rail yard tower. For example, initial observations of a vapor cloud and chemical odor were not even passed down to responding dispatchers. In response to this, the city has since modified some of their communication protocols.
Which I'm glad they did because, like you said, if they did not message or put the word out that there's a chemical spill out there, then them officers would have known about it, but he was able to smell it and let dispatch know what's going on. So yeah, I'm glad that they're able to fix their communication protocols between each department, just so if something similar like this happens, which I hope to God it don't, they'll be prepared.
This footage was taken on February 18th, 2022 in Shawnee, Wisconsin. The dashcam is in the cruiser of Officer Jeff Buettner. Jeff was patrolling the highway when suddenly this happened.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Ah, jeez. This is why people should not be traveling on heavy snow roads, because you can't see nothing in front of you.
A pileup of cars comes into view, but same as everyone else, the icy conditions didn't allow enough time for Jeff to slow down, forcing him to crash. Before he had time to get out, cars from behind him would begin to slam into his police cruiser.
Ow! Man, I know that'd be a long-lasting whiplash. Good lordy.
Jeff was now trapped inside of his vehicle, but still, at least for the most part, unhurt. Not long passes when a few other people involved in the crash go up to check up on Jeff.
Hey, officer, are you okay? A little sore, but I'm a little sore, but I gotta try and get a hold of my supervisor at least. I'm kind of trapped right now. How's your legs and everything? They're all right. I'm kind of trapped right here. Okay, yeah. I don't. Okay, I'm with Shawnee PD. I gotta try and. I'll try and get out of here and do what I can to help you guys. I'm sorry, man. I'm trapped right now. That's okay. Hold on. Let me try and get out of my driver's door first. Can you? Can you? Nope. Nope. We got it open. You got it open?
6 minutes would pass until Jeff was able to free himself. From there, he immediately joined in helping other stranded drivers. A total of 39 vehicles were involved in the pileup.
Jeez Louise. That is a huge pileup.
Resulting in 10 people being injured.
It's unavoidable. But like I said earlier, if you're driving in heavy snow, I would just pull over to the side and let the whole, snow clear over. But make sure you have your flashers on just so nobody would ram into you while you parked.
In January of 2016, police of Lincoln County would release this dashcam video. Driving the cruiser is Deputy Jeremy Gatney, who was on a routine patrol in the area at the time. As he nears an intersection, Jeremy notices an obstruction in the roadway. That's when he realizes it was moving and coming towards him. He slows down and turns on his lights as he gets closer, before realizing what he was actually looking at.
Is that a little kid? How did this little kid get out of the house? Oh boy, if I find the parents, I'll be pressing charges for child neglect,
An infant child running in the middle of the road right up to Jeremy's front bumper. Jeremy picks him up and asks him where his parents were, and shortly after they would be located. They were found frantically searching for their child. It was later discovered that the child had unknowingly slipped out of the family's house through an open door, and it wouldn't be until minutes later before the parents realized that their child was missing. The incident was investigated thoroughly on the basis of child neglect, but it was ultimately determined to just be an accident. Therefore, no criminal charges were brought to anyone involved.
No charges filed. I mean, yeah, I could see it being an accident, but the parents need to be held responsible in some degree. Be like, if this boy is able to get out again, we're going to have to either put him with the grandparents or in the foster care system. But I'm glad this child did not get hit. That was the only main concern right now that I'm thinking about seeing in this video. Because he just kept on running towards the police car. I said, imagine the police car did not stop quick enough. Ooh, that'd be heavy on my conscience if I was a police officer.
On the morning of February 24th, 2015, police would receive multiple calls from a neighborhood in New Jersey reporting a strong smell of gas in the air. Police, firefighters, and utility workers would respond to the calls. They suspected a gas leak and were quickly trying to locate where it was coming from. Meanwhile, 75 different homes in the nearby area were evacuated. Then, caught on one of the responding police cruiser's dash cams, a sudden explosion.
Whoa! Did you just see that? I was paying attention right over here, but when I saw debris flying up, I was like, oh! A whole house exploded.
The explosion sent debris from the house flying out in every direction throughout the neighborhood. The home was blown clear from its base, though it was under renovation at the time and therefore empty of people.
Oh, good. But look at that. The gas must have built up enough pressure underneath the house just to go boom.
However, 15 people would still be injured from the blast, most of which being firefighters and utility workers. Some even being critically injured and having to be airlifted to nearby emergency rooms. It's believed the explosion was caused by a 2-inch gas main that broke, but how it...
Probably. But I can see how, what he's saying, the utility workers and firemen getting hurt because of all this. You know, like when it went kaboom, all that debris was, hitting them and also being forced back by the blast. That explosions ain't no joke. I tell you, even from a gas main line. I'm just glad that they didn't get hurt to where, that was life-threatening.
It broke in the first place, or what ignited the blast, is still unclear.
I would say probably the gas line came unconnected somehow, and when the gas started spewing underneath that house, it probably weakened the foundations to make a big crack, and then when it started fuming out, it must have hit like electrical wire or something, and it kaboom. I mean, that's the only theory I could come up with, but I mean, if he said the house is being under renovation, it should not have no power hooked up to it at all, but man, I hope they do figure out how that happened. But anyway, that's going to be it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications for more chill and scares content like this. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man's Corner channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and I said that's a wrap, and have a nice day, y'all.